Hi everyone, I'm Dave from MOT Juice. Remember when the DVSA were asking us loads of questions about quad bikes in the annual exam and everyone was like,
why? Never tested a bloody quad bike in my life.
Well, it's probably because of this thing. It's the Citroen Ami. It's a fully electric car with a top speed of 27 miles per hour and weighs less than half a tonne without the batteries. So for testing purposes, it's effectively a quad bike with a roof, a Class 4 L7E vehicle, and they're all starting to come up for their first MOTs. Fun! Now, they're not the only ones you'll see. Fiat have got a very similar model, just with different badges, and this type of vehicle is becoming more and more popular. They're really popular in Europe because they're small, they're nippy and they're lightweight, and they're also congestion charge free and zero emissions, so you might be starting to get them in the UK too. If you live in a city, it doesn't really matter that they've got a max range of 46 miles or a top speed of 27 miles per hour. You can't go that far that quick anyway. Also, you can drive them in the UK at 16 on a moped licence. If your 16-year-old wants something to get out and about in, this might be a better option than weaving in and out of city traffic on a moped. And you never know, teenagers might pimp them up and they might be the new must-have toy. So you might be seeing them sooner than you think. So, how do you test them? If you run a Class 4 test bay and it fits in your bay, you can test them. But as it's effectively a quad, there are a few differences compared to testing a normal M1 car. To start, you don't need to check the reverse lights or the rear fog lights, which is handy because this thing hasn't got them. It also doesn't have a radio, but that's not part of the test. There are a few other differences for quad bikes, like number plates. You need to have two, but they can be smaller than the standard size. And depending on the width of the vehicle, you may need 1 or 2 position and stop lamps. If it's less than 1.3 meters, you just need one in the middle. And if it's more than 1.3 meters, you need 2, one either side. This Citroen Ami has 2. The biggest difference usually for quad bikes is the brakes. Depending on the brake setup, it determines the efficiency parameters and what park brake test is acceptable. It's all covered in the inspection manual, so have a look. It's not a problem for this one because you can just test the brakes normally in the roller brake testers, but you may need to input the vehicle weight on the brake test page of the MTS because these vehicles aren't always listed. There are a few other bits to look out for: rear view mirrors, indicators, hazard lights, that sort of thing. But the good thing about MOT Juice's version of the inspection manual is the search function. If you search quad, it will show up all the relevant sections in the guide. That way you can check it before it comes in or have a quick look whilst you're doing the test. Anyway, to recap, keep an eye out for these or something similar coming into your workshop. Before logging it on for a test, check the following: its weight without the batteries if it's fully electric, power output, and also its top speed. Ask the presenter for some documentation if you need it. This will tell you whether it be classed as a quad bike or a standard M1 vehicle. If it's too heavy or too powerful to qualify as an L7E quadricycle, it's going to become an M1 vehicle and it must be tested as a car, including full lighting, brake efficiency and emissions requirements. Last tip, if you find an issue when you're testing one of these, check the guide to confirm that whether the concerns are applicable for that vehicle, because something that would fail a standard car might be acceptable on a quad bikes, ergo one of these. And that's it. Thanks for watching and we'll see you all next time. Until then, remember, we're testers, you're testers. Let's stick together.